Length of the other altitude, which is drawn from C to the opposite side AB, is Cn. Okay, and Cn is the perpendicular distance of the point C, 2 minus 1, from the line 3x minus 4y minus 5 is equal to 0. So first write down here. So here, coordinates of C is 2 minus 1, and equation of, which is the side we are taking, AB, is 3x minus 4y minus 5 equal to 0. Therefore, C, what is the length wave called? Cn. Cn is equal to plus or minus, the formula was ax1 plus by1 plus c. So this is our x1, y1, and this is our a, this is our b. So a x1 plus b y1 plus c. C here is minus 5, this one, divided by root over of a square plus b square. Okay, so this will come to plus or minus 5 by 5, which is equal to plus or minus 1. So taking positive sign, we get Cn is equal to 1 unit. Okay, so this is what. This is the length of the other altitude. And the third altitude is, let's draw an altitude from B to here. Let's call this point P. Okay, so write down the coordinates of B. Coordinates of B is 7 by 5, 1 by 5. Here, B is 7 by 5 and minus 1 by 5. And what is the equation of AC? Here, what is the side? AC, right? What is the equation here? X plus y minus 1. X minus plus y minus 1 is equal to 0. So therefore, what should be your BP? Plus or minus ax1 plus by1. What is a here? A here is 1, right? So a x1. X1 is this 7 by 5 plus b. B here is again 1. Y1. This is your y1 minus 1 by 5 plus c. C here is minus 1 divided by root over of a square plus b square. This you get as plus or minus 7 minus 10 by root 2, which is equal to plus or minus minus 3 by root 2. We should take the negative sign to make it positive, right? Taking negative sign, we get PP is equal to minus of minus 3 by root 2, which is equal to 3 by root 2 units. Or you can write this as 3 root 2 by 2 also units. That is your answer. That is the length of the altitudes. Clear with this problem? Clear? Shall we move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, number 3. question here is, if P is the perpendicular distance of the origin from the line whose intercepts on the axis are A and B. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, and you have, say, this straight line, and draw a perpendicular from the origin, this line. Small p is the length of the perpendicular. Let's call this point P, and whose intercepts are A and B. So x intercept here is P, and y intercept here is B. Okay. Question is, show that 1 by P square is equal to 1 by A square plus 1 by B square. Okay, if you know the intercept, what should be the equation of the straight line? The straight line, you can take the equation of the straight line to be x by A plus y by B is equal to 1, because you know the x intercept and the y intercept. So I start by saying, let the equation of the line be x by A plus y by B is equal to 1. Or you can also write this as x by A plus y by B minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. Now P is the length of the perpendicular from the origin. What are the coordinates of the origin? 0, 0. Okay. So perpendicular distance of the origin from, let's write the coordinates of the origin also, from x by A plus y by B minus 1 equal to 0 is P. Therefore P is equal to, what is the perpendicular distance of the origin from this mod? Let me use plus or minus. Plus or minus, take the origin as x1 y1, and which one is your A here? A here is 1 by A, right? Isn't it? X by A plus y by B. So A here is 1 by A. So A x1 plus B y1 plus C. C here is minus 1 divided by root over of A square plus B square. Okay. So what do we get here? P is equal to plus or minus 1 by root over of 1 by A square plus 1 by B square. Now you have a plus or minus sign, right? So in order to remove the plus or minus sign, you square both sides. Squaring both sides, we get P square is equal to, now if you square the right hand side, plus or minus sign will be removed. You'll be only be left with minus 1 by root over of 1 by A square plus 1 by B square whole square, right? Now that means P square is equal to 1 by, now the radical sign will be removed in the denominator. Now you cross multiply. That means you get 1 by A square plus 1 by B square is equal to 1 by P square, which is the required proof. Clear with this problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we move on to the next problem. Okay, number 4. But I would like to discuss number 4 a little later because this is a problem concerning the locus. Okay, a locus is a definition that I would like to tell you a little later. Let us do number 5 first. Then I'll come back to 4. Question here is find the shortest distance between the parallel lines, these. So let's draw two parallel lines. What should be the shortest distance between the two parallel lines? You take any point here on any of the two and draw a perpendicular on the other. This will be shortest distance, right? Equation of the lines given here are 5x plus 12y minus 4 is equal to 0. And equation of this line is 5x plus 12y minus 30 is equal to 0. Okay, let us call this point P and let us call this point Q. We want to find out PQ. So this is now there are actually two methods of doing this. Okay, one method I have already shown you a little earlier, so I'll just discuss that method briefly. This is actual method, and this might just find this method really easy also. Now, first of all, what you notice here that yes, these two lines are parallel because if you see the x and the y coefficients here, they are the same. Okay, so they are parallel. So that is for sure. Now, what we want to do here is we want to select a point on any of the lines. Okay, we want to select a point on any of the lines. Let us suppose that I want to select a point on this line. Let us call this line L1 and let us call this line L2. I want to select the point Q. So how do I select the point Q? Let us write the given equations first. The given equations are L1. Let's say equation of L1 given here is 5x plus 12y minus 30 is equal to 0. And equation of the line L2 is given to us as 5x plus 12y minus 4 is equal to 0. We want to select a point on this line L2. So how do I select a point? There are infinite number of points on the line. You can select any point you want. If you want to select any point, you can either put x is equal to 0 or y is equal to 0 in the equation of the line. Let us put y is equal to 0 in, let us find a point Q, point P. I want to find the point P, not Q. Okay, you can find the point Q also. Let us put let us select a point on L1 instead of L2. Okay, put y is equal to 0 in, let's call this equation 1. Let us call this equation 2. Putting y is equal to 0 in 1, we get 5x plus 12 into 0 minus 30 is equal to 0. Remember, this is a technique of finding a point, okay, on any line you want. So 5x minus 30 is equal to 0, which will give you x is equal to 6, right? So what have we taken? We have taken y is equal to 0. And what is the corresponding x we are getting? 6. Therefore, P 6, 0 is a point on the line. On the line 1. Okay. In fact, y is equal to 0. You can take y is equal to 1 also. You can take y is equal to any value you want. You can put. Okay, and get the corresponding x, and you will get the point. Okay, we have taken y is equal to 0 for convenience. Okay, you can take a point on L2 also by taking x is equal to 0 or y is equal to 0, whichever you want. So we have chosen a point here, which is P60. So let us write here. P, let's say 60. Now what is PQ? PQ is the perpendicular distance. Therefore, distance between the lines, distance between the parallel lines is equal to PQ. And what is PQ? It is the distance, it is a perpendicular distance in fact. Perpendicular distance of P60 from the other line, this one, 5x plus 12y minus 4 is equal to 0. And what is the distance? Plus or minus, use the formula now. A here is 5. X1 here is 6. Plus by1. B here is plus 12. Y1 here is 0. C here is minus 4. Divided by root over of 5 square plus 12 square. Okay, which you get this as plus or minus 26 by 13, which is equal to plus or minus 2. So which sign should I take? Taking positive sign, we get PQ is equal to 2 units. This is the technique of finding the perpendicular distance between two parallel lines. Okay, this is one technique. The other technique is that if you have, I've already shown you that method earlier. You find the perpendicular distance of each of the lines from the origin. Okay. Now, what are the possibilities? Either the origin can be here or the origin can be here, right? Or the origin can be here also. I don't know. Okay, let's call this L1 and let us call this L2. So perpendicular distance of origin from L1. What is the equation of L1 we have taken? 5x plus 12y minus 30 equal to 0 is, let us call this as P1. Okay, so what should be the perpendicular distance here? Plus or minus AX1 plus BY1 plus C divided by root over of 5 square plus 12 square, which is equal to, you can get this as plus or minus. I think for the time being, ignore the plus or minus sign. We'll come to the plus or minus sign later. Okay. We'll get this as minus 30 by 13. Okay, this is what we'll get. Similarly, you find out the perpendicular distance of origin from L2. What is the line L2? 5x plus 12y minus 4 is equal to 0. Let us call this perpendicular distance P2. So A x1 plus B y1 plus C by root over of 5 square plus 12 square, which you get as minus 4 by 13. So now, whatever is the distance between these two straight lines, we have taken the distance of this straight line from the origin and distance of this other straight line from the origin. Therefore, distance between the two parallel lines will be, now we take the plus or minus sign. Hence, because we don't know which side the origin is, hence distance between the two parallel lines is equal to plus or minus P2 minus P1. You can also take P1 minus P2 is equal to plus or minus 4 by 13 minus of minus 30 by 13. Okay, which you will get as plus or minus 26 by 13, which is equal to plus or minus 2. So taking positive sign, we get the required distance is equal to 2 units. Okay, I have shown you this problem, I think, when I was doing normal form, right? Distance between the two parallel lines, plus or minus P2 minus P1 also I had taken there. So this is what. So either you can use your method 1 or you can use method 2. I would prefer method 1. Let us move on to the next problem. Number 6, find all points. Find all points on the line x1 x plus y is equal to 4 that lie at a unit distance from the line 4x plus 3y is equal to 4. The given line here is, say this. Given line here is x plus y minus 4. You need to find all the points on the line which are at a unit distance. Unit distance means 1 unit from the line this. Okay. So let's say I have another line. Let's say this. Okay, I have another line, and you need to find all the points on this line which are at a unit distance from this line. That means this can be a unit distance. Okay, and you can have another distance here. Okay, which the point here is that you don't know the alignment of the lines. So you can have this distance also as 1 unit. So in fact, you're getting 2 points P and Q on this line, which are at a unit distance from the line. I have to draw perpendicular here. Should be a perpendicular distance. Let's say this. So you have 2 points on the line which are at a unit distance from which line? 4x plus 3y minus 10 is equal to 0. I can have more than 2 points also. Okay, that depends on, but the algebraic method of calculating this is, I say let x1, y1 be the points, be the point on the line. I don't know how many points, so I'll take only 1 point. Let x1, y1 be a point on the line x plus y minus 4 is equal to 0, which is at a unit distance. Distance, let us call this 1, from the line 4x plus 3y minus 10 is equal to 0. Okay. So let's find out the distance first. Otherwise, what you can do is, let us take this point as x1, y1. To start with, you can say x1, y1 lies on the line. So it must satisfy the equation of the line. Since x1, y1 lies on which line? It lies on 1, right? So therefore, it must satisfy, you must have x1 plus y1 minus 4 is equal to 0. Call this equation number, we'll call this equation number 2, call this equation number 3. So we're getting one relation between x1 and y1. Okay. Now we want to find out the perpendicular distance of x1, y1 from the line 2. Perpendicular distance of x1, y1. Let us call, in the figure I have called this P, from 2. What should be a perpendicular distance? Is equal to plus or minus ax1. Which one is a? A here is 4. A x1. B here is 3. B y1. And C here is minus 10. Divided by root over of a square plus b square. This is the perpendicular distance of the line. Okay. This is equal to, simplify this, you can write this as 4x1 plus 3y1 minus 10 divided by 5. But what is the perpendicular distance of x1, y1 from line 2? Unit distance, right? This point is at, what is it? This is 1 unit. This is also 1 unit, right? So therefore, what perpendicular distance have we found out here? This one. So therefore, plus or minus 4x1 plus 3y1 minus 10 by 5 must be equal to 1. So now you have a plus or minus sign here. Okay, now squaring will complicate matters, right? So what you do is you take one sign at a time. Taking positive sign, we get 4x1 plus 3y1 minus 10 by 5 is equal to 1. Okay, so you simplify this, you will get 4x1 plus 3y1 minus 15 is equal to 0. Let us call this equation number 4. Taking negative sign, we get minus of 4x1 plus 3y1 minus 10 by 5 is equal to 1. That means minus 4x1 minus 3y1 plus 10 by 5 is equal to 1. Now you cross multiply and take everything on one side. You will get 4x1 plus 3y1 minus 5 is equal to 0. Call this equation number 5. Okay. So now how many equations have we got? You've got equation 3 here in x1 by 1. You've got equation 4 here, and we have got equation 5 here in x1 by 1. Okay. Now we need to solve the equations. We solve equations 2 and 3. 3 and 4 in fact. Solving 3 and 4. Solving 3 and 4 simultaneously. You'll get x1 is equal to 3 and you'll get y1 is equal to 1. Solving 3 and 5 simultaneously. We get x1 is equal to minus 7 and you'll get y1 is equal to 11. So therefore, what are the coordinates? Hence, coordinates of the points which are at a unit distance from the line. What is the line given here? This line, right? We are looking for points which are at a unit distance from this line, 4x plus 3y minus 10. Are 3, 1 and minus 7, 11. You can call this point P and you can call this point Q as I have given in the figure. P and Q. See, I started with 1 point, but I actually got 2 points. Okay, so that is all for this. Now I'll come to the definition of locus. Okay. Locus we'll be discussing later on also. Once I finish the first term syllabus, I will be discussing locus in detail. Before I will be starting circles, I will be discussing locus. Okay. Now, what is a locus? The definition of locus is that any path traced by a point, that is anything that you draw on the XY plane, even it may be a straight line also, it may be a circle also, it may be any curved line that you draw, that is called a locus. Okay. Let us give a very standard example of a circle. This is a locus because here, if I take any point P here, this is moving, right, in this manner, or you can take moving in this manner also, right? This is a locus. Okay, this path, what is this locus called? This locus is called a circle. And what is the moving point here? P. Okay, so any path that you draw, it may be a straight line also, You can take a point P on this locus. This locus is called a straight line. In class 10, there was locus, but it was removed from your syllabus. So I have to, uh, start locus from the beginning only. So any straight line even that you draw is called a locus. So a straight line can be a locus, a circle can be a locus. You take a curve like this is also a locus. May not have a standard name, but this has a locus. The other kinds of locus can be, which you will not be discussing, which is in your section B, something like this. This is also a locus. This is called a parabola. This locus is called a parabola. Okay. You can have a locus like this. This locus is called an ellipse. You can take a point P on this locus, and this point is moving in this path. Clear? So the definition of locus is that any path that is traced by a point is called a locus. Okay, anything that you draw on the graph. Okay. It may be a straight line, it may be a curve, it may be a circle. Now locus, what happens is that any locus that you have will have a certain geometric condition. For example, say this locus. I don't know the name of this locus, whether it is a circle, I don't know. But what I know is that I have a fixed point on this. I have a fixed point, and any point on the locus that I take, whether I take the point P1, whether I take the point P2, whether I take the point P3, any point that I take, infinite number of points are there on this locus. Any point that I take on this locus will have a constant distance from a fixed point. This is a fixed point. I don't know whether it is called the center or whatever. I don't know. I will simply call this a fixed point. And this is my path. This is called point on the locus. Point on locus. This is also a point on locus. This is also a point on locus. This is also a point of locus. But what you see here is that what is the standard thing is that whether you take the distance of O from P1, or whether you take the distance of O from P4, or whether you take the distance of O from P2, or whether you take the distance of O from P3, all are constant. All are equal. Okay. So this is this locus is called a circle. Okay. So remember, for coordinate geometry, before solving this problem, if I take any point, let us take this point as alpha beta. If I take any point on this locus as alpha beta, then I want to find a relation. Remember this definition, it will be easier for you. Locus is a relation between alpha and beta. Okay. We want to find out a relation between the x and y coordinates of any point on the locus. Okay. For example, the equation of a circle we'll do later is x square plus y square is equal to a square. Equation of a circle. Okay. We can derive this condition by taking alpha and beta. We'll get alpha plus beta square is equal to a square. And then we change this to current coordinates. X square plus y square is equal to a square. So what is the relation here between alpha and beta? Alpha square plus beta square is equal to a square. So just remember this, that a locus is nothing but a relation between alpha and beta. If you remember this will solve all your problems. Even if you are not able to understand that the meaning of locus, just understand that it is a relation between alpha and beta. If I take the coordinates of any point on the locus as alpha beta, then I want to find out a relation between alpha and beta. How will I find out? Some relation will be given to you. For example, in case of a circle, what is given? In case of a circle, it will be given to you that OP4 is equal to A. This will be given to you. Okay. With the help of this, you can find out. How? If you see, what is the distance OP? This is the, let's say, the origin. And what is this? The distance of the origin from alpha beta is alpha minus 0 square plus beta minus 0 square is equal to A square. So you get root over of alpha square plus beta square not a square, it is equal to a. Root over of alpha square plus beta square is equal to a. Now you square both sides, you get alpha square plus beta square is equal to a square. So you've got a relation. From this only we get the equation of the circle. Okay. So just remember for the time being that it is nothing but a relation between alpha and beta. Okay. So I'll stop here. I'll finish this problem next week.